Hey everyone, it's Rachel. Recently something really exciting happened. Thanks to all of you, my channel recently passed 100,000 subscribers. As a YouTuber, this is a huge milestone, and it's just really crazy for me. It's crazy that there are so many of you, 100,000 of you, who decided to stick around to follow me on my journey and watch what I'm doing. It's hard to put into words how much it means to me and how much I really appreciate having you all here in this community that we've built over the last few years. We've made such an overall positive community where we can all encourage each other in our pursuits of music or guitar or really anything, and I really appreciate that. We're now a mind-blowing 100,000 strong, and I'm super excited to continue making content for all of you and to continue building this community and just seeing where it takes us. So thank you so much for all of your support and for being a part of this channel. As I said, I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around the 100,000 number. It's just such a crazy thing, but all I can say is I really appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you so much. To commemorate this occasion, I'm going to do something a little different, and I'm going to take a look back at the video that really kickstarted this channel, my first year progress video. I did in the past do a reaction video on my first ever full guitar cover, which was a Ghost song called Square Hammer, and that is in the first year progress video as well. But I actually haven't watched my full first year progress video in a very long time, and I really can't remember the last time I saw it all the way through. This video is really what started my channel. Once it started getting views, it brought me to all of you, and it brought us to where we are now. Hopefully looking back at this video now, I'll be able to provide some insights onto different things that I was working on behind the scenes throughout the video, or things I was struggling with, just things that might be helpful if you were just starting out playing as well, or if you're curious as to what was going on in my head throughout that progress video. So let's take a look back now at my first year of guitar progress. I remember spending most of that day working on just a few chords, and I think I spent literally the whole day, like 10 hours or more, working on it because I was having so much fun with it and I wanted to see what I could do. And it was just a ton of fun. I think I was following Justin Guitar's beginner's course, and it was just a crazy experience because I hadn't played an instrument in a really long time, and I realized, or started realizing, that it was possible and that I'd be able to do something eventually, even if I wasn't very good at it yet. I remember struggling a lot with hitting a single note and then going into the chord, but I remember I did get it down and I was pretty happy with myself. Pretty slow chord changes, but I was making them. I think I was just happy that it was starting to sound a little bit like music, even if it was slow chord changes. It was still fun for me, even at that point. So that song I remember playing a lot. That was like the only thing I could play for a very long time, part of Crazy on You by Heart, and it was fun because it was actually a song that I really liked and I could play it, or well, I could play a little bit of it, but it was fun, and I probably stuck on that song for a little bit too long, or that riff, I guess, not really the full song. That was probably my first slide on that part of that riff, and I remember having a lot of fun with that as well. Pentatonic. So that was the first scale, and really the only main scale I've been practicing so far as well, and I remember being happy that I was able to memorize just that one position, and yeah, it was interesting. I think I wanted to learn it because I could then use it for improvising, which I still haven't really worked a ton on yet, but it was definitely something valuable to learn and something that I should probably have practiced more, and probably still should be practicing more, just working on pentatonic and knowing how to use it in different positions, and it's definitely a valuable thing to learn. That was fun too. I think I really just had a lot of fun playing things that I could recognize, and that really motivated me to keep going. The classic riff. Took me a little long to record it. So this one right here, a classical song, Hall of the Mountain King, I believe, was actually really good for working in my alternate picking. I think I played this one a lot, and I really eventually worked on alternate picking it and even tremolo picking it at some point. And it was just a good exercise, kind of like a scale, for me to improve my picking habits. Yeah, this was a similar thing here. It helped me a lot with my picking, and it was a thing I could recognize. So it was a song that I could recognize. It wasn't just a scale, and that always kept me motivated. I remember having a lot of fun with the THR-10. This is when I first got that amp, and before that I was just using like the Fender Frontman amp that came with the starter pack with the guitar, and getting the THR-10 was really inspiring for me because it gave me a lot of different sounds, a lot of different options, and I was just having a ton of fun experimenting with it. So definitely helped my playing because it encouraged me to practice a lot more. So yeah, this is showing how I've gotten a little faster here and more alternate picking. This is cool. So this is the Nothing Else Matters intro that you probably recognize, and I remember this was like the first finger picking thing I tried to learn, and pretty much still one of the only things. I haven't done that much finger picking other than green sleeves as well, I guess. But I remember thinking that it was something that actually sounded musical. It actually sounded cool to me, and it was one of the first times I felt like I was kind of making music, even if it wasn't the full song or anything, it was just the intro. I was still really proud of myself at this point, and I was having a lot of fun with it. I also actually remember struggling a lot with the pull off there on the high E string. I remember just pulling the string off the fret a lot and causing it to squeak. So I remember having a lot of struggles with that, and I was really happy when one day it just started working. That actually happens quite a bit, where you spend a lot of time working on something in particular and just not working at all, and then one day it just clicks, and that is an awesome feeling. Yeah, I think this is the first solo I tried to learn. My bends are a little off here, but I was definitely having fun trying to learn it. I think I was having some fun with the THR settings on this one. This is a fun one. Going for the all down picks on this one, but it was definitely a little hard to get up to speed, and it still will be very hard if I ever try to attempt it again in the future. But I think it would be a good one to improve my picking speed and right hand down picking stamina, so I should probably work on it again sometime in the future. So I think here I was trying to do sweep picking, which I still haven't really practiced very much yet at this point, but I've done a little bit, and I think even here I had a basic idea of how it would work, and I just thought it would be cool to be able to do it, but still haven't really fully achieved that one yet. Some ghosts. Probably will notice this theme throughout my progress videos. There's a lot of ghost, and I really love ghost songs because their riffs are really fun to play, but they're also not so hard that they're impossible, but they're also, some of them are a little bit of a challenge, so they're great for improving. So definitely recommend checking them out if you like metal and want to learn guitar. They're a great place to start and a great band to look into. So some more ghosts here, and this is also the first day, or one of the first days, that I had this new Ibanez guitar, and I was super excited. I remember not being sure if I should get it because I wasn't that good yet, but I really love guitar and I knew I wanted to stick with it for a long time, so I thought it'd be good to have a really nice quality instrument that would just inspire me to play, and it definitely did. I think my progress really skyrocketed after I got this guitar, and it just really inspired me to practice a lot more and get more serious about it, and it was just such a cool experience. It was so much fun getting this guitar, and I still love this guitar to this day. I think this is Iron Maiden, but hallowed be that name. I had some fun with some Iron Maiden riffs as well. Here's the solo from Series by Ghost. I remember it being such a cool feeling, even being able to make it sound somewhat similar to the solo. Just, again, playing something that I knew and loved, and one of my favorite songs was just like a huge inspiration to me, and I just had a ton of fun. Even if I wasn't playing it up to speed yet, it was just really fun. I love how this riff sounds. It's one of Nightwish riffs. Still working on the Master Puppet Drift, and I still haven't really revisited it, as I said, but I should get back to that. Pure imagination. So this is what I was talking about earlier with these classical songs giving me a good reference point to work on my picking. I was working on tremolo picking, as you can see here, and I was just picking across the strings, going as fast as I could, and it did help me improve a lot with the tremolo picking. So here I actually got a looper pedal, which I haven't actually used that much. I really should, because it's a lot of fun, but I was just improvising over a backing track I made with the pedal, and I remember thinking it was really cool that I could make something that sounded like music without any reference, just doing it myself. And that was a really cool moment. It was just fun to be able to do that for the first time. So this was actually my first YouTube video. It was a cover of a solo by Nightwish in the song Walking in the Air, and it was just really fun. I remember spending a ton of time trying to get it down, trying to get it ready for a video, and I kept messing it up. Even though it's a relatively easy solo, it just took me a while because I had never tried to make a full production video for YouTube, and it was just a really cool experience getting it out there and putting it out on the internet, even though basically no one saw it at the time. It was just a really fun thing to do, and it really started, I guess, this channel because I realized I like making videos to share online, and it was the first one I had up. I just realized I'm actually wearing this sweatshirt that I was in the video, so that's fitting as well. That's funny. So this was my first full cover of the Ghost song Square Hammer, and I did a full reaction on this video, and I'll have that linked somewhere in the description, but it was just a really cool thing to be able to finally cover a full song, full-length song, including the solo, and I just remember it being such a rewarding experience finally getting that video done. I think I spent over a month on it just trying to get everything acceptable, not perfect, just acceptable and ready to post, and it was just, I remember it being frustrating because it took me so long to get a take that I was happy with, but it really inspired me to continue doing what I was doing and motivated me a lot once I had it done, and once I realized I could do it. Even if it took a lot of effort, it was possible for me to cover a full song, to play it all the way through, and to share it. The solo was a lot of fun, even if it was a little bit off. I love how satisfied I look at that point when I finally feel like I've gotten a good take, and it was just a really conclusive moment since I spent so much time trying to get that solo down, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun. I really recommend playing songs that you love, as that has been what has always inspired me to get better, and it has been such a cool experience from these first few videos to where I am now. So sweeping again. Iron Maiden, I really should do a full cover of this song, The Trooper, at some point. I've been meaning to. I've partially learned the solo, but not fully up to speed yet at certain points, but it's definitely something I want to do. So this is another one of those points where I was starting to feel like I could make things that were musical on my own, and I wasn't using any backing tracks here. This was just me playing green sleeves on the guitar, and I thought it sounded really cool at the time. I still think it sounds cool, but for me at the time it was one of the first full things I had made from scratch, and it was just awesome. I really like being able to do that, and it still excites me a lot when I can make things all on my own now, using the guitar, using my music knowledge. It's just something that I didn't think I could do like 3 years ago when I first started playing guitar, and it has been really awesome. That's all I can say. It's just very cool being able to finally make music myself or change it and share it. It's just really cool. Side note on this, I remember I was recording this video very late into the night before I had to fly across the country to visit family, and I didn't get very much sleep, so that may not be the best idea, but what can I say? That's what happened, and it did get posted, so I guess that's good, but my family wasn't very happy probably when they saw me and I was half asleep. still love this riff here, the Poison riff. It's a really good picking exercise because you have to kind of jump across strings, and it was actually kind of tricky to get down at that point and something I had to work a bit at, so it was a fun one to play for the end of my progress video, and just a really fun riff overall. So that is the end of that video, and I ended there with a little part of the Poison song by Alice Cooper again, but it wasn't really fully up to speed or correct. It was just kind of loosely based on it, and I was trying to kind of connect the riff and the solo, but yeah, that was really cool. I haven't seen this video in such a long time, so it's really interesting getting to look back and see how I progressed and what sorts of things I was learning. As I said, that video really kickstarted my channel and brought us to where we are now, so I thought it was an appropriate thing to do to commemorate the 100,000 subscriber milestone, and I hope you enjoyed it as well, or maybe took away some behind the scenes things you didn't know before. Looking back at that video now, the clear thing that I can see that really helped to motivate me and keep me on my way progressing at guitar was that I really enjoyed what I was doing at all steps along the way. I really tried to keep it musical. I tried to learn songs and riffs that I loved, and that all really helped me to continue to practice, to continue to stay motivated. It was just a ton of fun for me, and I think that's the main reason why I've been able to keep progressing and keep up my practicing. So thank you again so much to all of you for sticking with me on this guitar playing journey, for supporting me in so many different ways, for being a member of this awesome positive community where we encourage learning and growth, and just, I really can't put into words all the things I want to say. I just really want you to know that it means a lot to me, and it's just so crazy having you all here and having this channel and this experience. I am very thankful. Thank you so much for watching. You are all awesome, and I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you in the next video.